Well, good morning, Phil. Good morning, Phil Raine. Nice to see you.
Good morning, John.
Welcome to the Coffee Time Conversation. And our question this morning is along the lines of how should pastors look after themselves, especially in lockdown? And Phil, you're the new Pastoral Support Worker for the Midlands, for the Pastors Academy. And I'm asking you this question because back in the midst of time, you were a doctor, you were a GP, is that right?
That's right, yes. That was my calling earlier on, and then God steered me in a different direction, but I was a GP down in the Bristol area. Loved
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
Excellent. So, lockdown has gone on a long time. Comments?
It certainly has, hasn't it? It's been pretty wearying, I think, for all of us. Ministers feel that as well for a number of reasons. We're in ministry for the long haul, but lockdown's gone on for a long time. I think it's going to go on for a long time still with regards to church life. I think it's going to be at least till 2022 till we can sing our hearts out in a crowded, thronged congregation, sitting jammed up next to one another in a crowded room. It's not going to happen this year, is it?
And you're talking about summer 22, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a long time.
Look forward to that.
Yeah. So let's hope we get a good summer holiday anyway this year. But in other words, you're saying plan for the long haul.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
So we're in ministry for the long haul, and
indeed. Okay, so what are some of the problems ministers face?
We are interconnected, aren't we? Mind, body, and soul, and one area of us can affect the other. Yeah. So the length of time and the weariness can affect us, and a lot of people speak about mental health, and we're subject to those pressures and stresses and the anxiety, the sleeplessness. I was in pastoral ministry for the first 6 months of lockdown, and I experienced these things. And the worry about the church. Folk are unseen, and you wonder, are they all fizzling away? Are they going to be there when it all opens up again? And then the frustration that we can't do what we wanted to do. Not only just singing, I mean, that's so important to us, but in our evangelism and our outreach, things aren't the same. Some are making use of good opportunities, some are utterly frustrated that we can't do what we used to do.
That's quite a cause of anxiety. So what general health measures should ministers just take?
Yeah, well, to combat the sort of mumps and measles of the soul, I think fresh air and exercise is a good starting point. And the government's given us the opportunity of exercise. Use it. Get out in the fresh air. Get out in the sunshine if you can. If you've got a family, make sure you get them out there as well and take care of them. Spend time with them because they're stressed as well as you are, and look after them. And then, look after your body.
Right.
Body and soul connected. And if you have any concerns about your health, don't just shelve them and say, well, I'll deal with this after lockdown, because it's going on. And I reckon your GP would be really glad to see you with something else other than coronavirus. Look after your body. I've come across a number of ministers who've had health issues, and it's so important to go and sort them out. And some can be very important. And look after your teeth as well. Don't forget your teeth. Because, dentists are even harder to get hold of than doctors. And, so floss every day.
Okay. And what about sleep and things like that?
Yeah, sleep is a big problem. I found my sleep's been more disturbed. I think as ministers we do worry, and we do get anxiety in the night sometimes.
The pressure of the churches.
Pressure. Yeah, Paul spoke about this, the pressure that comes on me every day, care of all the churches. And there's a whole new science that's developed, isn't there? Sleep hygiene, they talk about, and that's something. So go to bed at a regular time. I'd say in lockdown, make it a bit earlier, and try and wind down towards sleep. Don't use your blue screens within 2 hours before bedtime. That's a very important factor, because it gets the old brain active, and the blue light and so on really invigorates your mind. It said read a book or something like that, and relax and rest. And don't be afraid to try herbal remedies. There's a very good herbal remedy my GP recommended to my wife at one point, called Sleepies. You can get it in Boots. It's fairly cheap, and it really does help relax and takes the edge off the anxiety.
Okay, I'll think about that.
Yeah, anxiety is a big thing as well, isn't it, John?
It certainly is.
In the ministry, and I think sharing your burden is very important. It's very important to share your concerns with your wife. I can be very locked in on myself, and it doesn't do any good. And eventually, when I go to my wife for her wisdom and her consolation, her words can sort everything out.
So she's the kind of pastor of the. Really? She's the pastor of the pastor.
She's the pastor of the pastors.
Absolutely.
And,
that's my experience.
And if you're not married, well, I'd say, well, find somebody that you can really share with and share your heart with, and so on.
And other matters you might have here? Yeah.
The tiredness, the weariness, trying to keep up with people, making phone calls, and then the weariness of Zoom. Zoom is tiring, isn't it?
It is.
This podcast, you might find it really tiring there.
That's why we keep them short.
Just have another sip of coffee. But they say that you should have a 20-20-20 rule. So every 20 minutes of Zoom, you look away for 20 seconds at a distance of 20 meters.
Oh.
So that 20-20-20, that's a good rule to take. It just rests the eyes and takes the pressure off. And
that's interesting.
That can be a good measure.
And then I think you're a man who likes a garden. Is that right?
Yeah. I've got a few projects going on, and Rudyard Kipling, I think it was him, said the cure for melancholy.
Yes.
Go and dig the garden. And
right.
It's a great thing. I knew one pastor, and he did the long haul, and he'd work hard for the morning, and then lunchtime, quick lunch, and then he'd be out in the garden for half an hour, three-quarters of an hour. And I really kept him going, and he managed to persevere. He's still in ministry.
And I know you're also a man famous for diets.
Oh, you're going to start me on that.
Go on.
Well, I think lockdown might be a good time to rethink your diet.
Right.
Diets are important, what we eat, and they're discovering this more and more. It affects the immune system. There's a whole new system of food stuffs, the red foods, the red peppers, the tomatoes, and red cabbage, beetroot, things like that. They really boost the immune system, as well as vitamin D and B6, things like that. But so eating a really good diet is important. That doesn't mean have what you normally eat and eat a diet on top of it. Or a seafood diet,
Yes, I know.
But it's a good time to rethink, because you're not going out for meals, and you're
kind of in control.
Is more under control, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can really set your pattern, and there's some really good systems. I'd recommend Michael Mosley's systems.
Right.
And June, his wife, Claire Bailey, they've really put together some really good diets. And
so you can get that online, can you?
He's Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, and he's really got some good systems. And there we are.
Okay. And any final kind of advice? Any, last points about pastors looking after themselves?
As pastors, we've got to be the best we can be, and that means being the best that we can be physically and mentally, as well as spiritually. Our congregation, folk in our congregation, so those that are working, they're really in stressful circumstances very often. Some trying to grapple with trying to work at home, juggle the teaching of the children, and then the healthcare workers. When they want to come to you, they want to come to somebody who can refresh them and help them. And if you're all stressed out and wound up, then what good can we be? And if we're overdoing it, we've got to pace ourselves, use our day off properly, and everything like that, so that we are the best that we can be.
Okay.
Remember Jethro coming to Moses? He says, "You're going to wear yourselves out, you and the people, by your pattern of work." And how important we take that advice and take those measures. And
that's really helpful. And I know there's a particular book you'd like to just
well,
flag up.
I've been really helped. Somebody recommended this book to me, Gentle and Lowly by Dane Ortland, and I found it such a blessing to my soul just to focus on Christ and delight in him. We need that focus, don't we? And away from ourselves, away from the problems, away from the lockdown and all the issues in the church, let's take our delight in Christ and find our joy in the Lord.
Excellent. Phil, thank you very much for sharing with us. No doubt we'll be back to you in coming months to chat about various other things. God bless.
Yeah, get in touch if you want to talk further about any of those things. Yeah, please do.
Okay then. God bless. Bye-bye.